Guys, today's lecture is about physical significance of signs of P and Q. By the way, yesterday we studied about the transmission, about the distribution side. Now we would be studying about the transmission, power transmission. So there are certain points that will be covered today in the power transmission series. The significance of signs of reactive power and active power, the generation of three-phase balanced voltages, the interconnection of three phases. So let's dive into the lecture about these three topics. As you know that the load convention suggests us that we need to assume the current enters the positive terminal of the circuit element. There are two types of conventions that are followed. One is conventional current, and the one is about the latest way. What we follow is that it moves from negative to positive. Because either this is the convention, and the second one is that the current follows from the negative terminal to positive. The other is from positive to negative. These are the two conventions that we consider. Over here, we would be considering about that the current enters from the positive terminal of the circuit element. If the active power is positive, so the circuit element absorbs positive real power. And if the active power is negative, the circuit element absorbs negative. If the active power, what I mean by active power, real power. So don't get confused. So if active power is positive, the circuit is absorbing the real power. If active power is negative, the circuit element absorbs negative real power. Or you can say the circuit is basically delivering the positive real power. If reactive power is positive, it clearly shows that the circuit is now absorbing positive reactive power. And if reactive power is negative, the circuit absorbs negative reactive power. So I repeat, if active power is positive, it means the circuit is absorbing positive real power. If P is negative, the circuit elements absorb negative real power. And if reactive power is positive, the circuit absorbs positive real power, positive reactive power. If reactive power is negative, the circuit element absorbs negative reactive power. Or you can say the circuit is absorbing positive reactive power. Why am I discussing the physical significance of active and reactive power? Because many transmission engineers, when we hire them, they are continuously making these conventional mistakes. I don't know what universities are teaching, but these are not up to the mark. They don't they get the true idea behind active and reactive power and fail deliberately in the interviews. And if in case they pass, they are not doing well in the daily task. So you need to equip yourself with the basics. The source convention, as I earlier mentioned, that active power is positive as the circuit element delivers positive real power. So it is the same thing that if active power is positive, the circuit is absorbing. I again show you the circuit absorb positive real power, and it means that the circuit element delivers positive real power. It also means because we are assuming that the current leaves the positive terminal of the circuit element. The current yes, the difference between these two is that now we are considering that the current leaves the positive terminal. First we were saying that the current enters the positive terminal. Now I am saying that the current is leaving the when the current leaves the positive terminal of the circuit element, then it is quite clear that the active power is positive. This circuit element delivers positive real power. If P is negative, the circuit element delivers negative real power. If Q is positive, the circuit element delivers positive reactive power. And if Q is negative, the circuit element delivers negative real power. So you can see the difference between these things. That if the circuit element, if Q is negative, circuit element absorbs negative reactive power. So first it was all about absorbing. Now just the change is that don't cram it. Now what you are saying that this when the circuit in the circuit the current is leaving from the positive terminal, P is positive when circuit element absorbs when the circuit element delivers a positive real power. P is negative when the circuit element delivers negative real power. Q is positive when the circuit element delivers positive reactive powers. So Q is negative if circuit element delivers negative real power. So things are quite easy. You just need to refresh your logics. Active power, reactive power. So yes. So if P is positive, circuit element delivers positive real power. Circuit element delivers negative real power. So we were truly right. If Q is positive, circuit element delivers positive reactive power. So the generation of three-phase balanced voltages can be seen 0 degree, 180 degree, and then minus 180 degree. So this is how the generation is happening. Now, the concept of torque is quite essential. In a magnetic field, there's a conductor. You shift it by 0 degree, then you shift it by 90, then you shift it by 180, then 270, and then 360. So what is happening here is you can see here that the rotation is happening, and the rotation proves that it is the alternating current that is being circulating, and the results are quite clear that when at 0 degree the brushes are that there is no electricity generated. At 90 degree electricity is being generated, at 180 electricity is not being generated, and at 270 the electricity is being generated. So at 0 and 180 degree no electricity is being generated, no, the light bulb is not being is not being illuminated, because remember, don't forget VAB, voltage across 2 points A and B, is calculated as VM sine omega t, sine theta. See, theta at 0 and 180 is always 0. A sine 0 degree and sine 180 degree are always 0. So that was all for this lecture. Now in the next lecture, we will be discovering more advanced topics. So do revise them and wait for the assessment link that I will be sending to you. And prepare yourself well. So like, subscribe, and do share with your fellows who want to appear in their competitive examinations. Thank you.